Hello and welcome to Nevada State High School's Scorecards tutorial for all students. Use the guide bar at the bottom of the presentation to navigate through the presentation. Click the forward button now to begin. During this tutorial, we will discuss general information about Nevada State High School's scorecards. We will become familiar with the use of scorecards, identifying red triggers, and how to improve your scorecards. Scorecards are a big part of our assessment in transitioning students to college. With this tutorial, you will be able to identify where exactly your strengths and weaknesses are, and where you need to improve in order to be ready for college. At the end of this presentation, you will take a 5-question quiz. Let's get started. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. Nevada State High School scorecards are divided into 5 different categories or pillars. Each of these pillars covers a specific part of Nevada State High School's mission to transition students to college: personal, social, and academic. The 5th pillar contains triggers, which we will discuss later in the video. Once we have covered the different pillars, we will also look at ways to improve your scorecard. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. This is a scorecard. The different categories are indicated by numbers 100 to 500. Each numbered category corresponds to a pillar. For example, the 100 pillar is your progress on personally transitioning to college. The 200 pillar indicates your progress in socially transitioning to college. The 300 and 400 categories cover your academic transition into college, and the 500 pillar contains triggers. At the bottom of the scorecard is your color designation. Let's take a moment and look at each of these parts. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. The 100 pillar reflects your personal transition into college. The image at the bottom of the screen shows an image from this pillar on a scorecard. Notice the attendance, activity on Moodle, and your compliance with Nevada State High School due dates are all tracked in this pillar. Click to the next slide when you are ready to continue. The 200 pillar reflects your social transition into college. Again, the image at the bottom of the screen shows you an image of this pillar from a scorecard. Notice how this pillar reflects your social points with the school and participation in various activities. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. The 300 pillar reflects your academics, specifically coming into the school. It shows your incoming GPA, the highest math you've completed so far in high school and in college. Your math placement is also reflected in this pillar, as well as your engaged survey results from the registration process. Your work key scores are also reflected here. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. The 400 pillar also reflects your academic transition, but it focuses more on your current situation. It looks at your current GPA, your status on state testing, and progress in Study Island. It will also reflect your Key Train progress and ACT scores. Click to the next slide when you are ready. Before we discuss the 500 pillar, let's skip to the bottom of the scorecard. You will see 2 different colors, an original designation and a final designation. Your original designation will come from the combined score of all 4 of these pillars. If your original color is green, that means that you are doing well in the 100, 200, 300, and 400 pillars. If that is the case, then keep it up. You are successfully transitioning to college. If it is yellow, then that means that there is some work to be done in these areas, but that you're getting close. You could be denied a study skills exemption if you're yellow, but not necessarily. Those who are red in their original designation are not eligible for a study skills exemption and are not yet ready for college. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. When looking at your individual pillars, you will see each item has a raw value and a weighted value. These show you your score for each item, with the total compiled at the bottom of the values column. Each of these scores will give you a GPA that is out of a 4.0. This will let you know which categories you need to improve on and which ones you are doing well in. Under raw for each category, you will see either an ES for exceeds standards, an ST for standard, an AS for approaches standard, and a BS for below standards. This is also a good indication of exactly which areas you can improve on. Keep in mind the weight of each item. The bigger the weight, the bigger impact it will have on your total score for that category and your final color designation. The total GPA from these 4 pillars is what determines that original color designation. Click to the next slide when you are ready to continue. Now let's look at the 500 pillar, or red triggers. These are items that Nevada State High School considers to be essential for students to successfully transition to college. They include not having completed all requirements for state exams, failing a class, and still working to get out of remedial college classes. These also include specific forms required by Nevada State High School. There are three designations for these items: pending, satisfactory, and unsatisfactory. Pending indicates that this item is not received, but it's not counting against you yet. For example, the portfolio is pending until the due date. Satisfactory means that you have completed this item, and unsatisfactory indicates that you have not. If any of these are marked as unsatisfactory on your scorecard, it will automatically trigger your final color designation to red. This pillar is the difference between your original color designation and the final one. You can be green for all of your work in pillars 100, 200, 300, and 400, but if you have just one unsatisfactory in pillar 500, you will be red. Identifying red triggers can help you work towards earning a green designation and a study skills exemption. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. As mentioned in the previous slide, your final color is a combination of all pillars and red triggers, and can make an otherwise green student red. If you are green with even one red trigger unsatisfied, you will not be eligible for a study skills exemption. Your final color is the most important. Your original designation helps you see where you might need to work at improving. Be very mindful of the red triggers, however. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. This is an image of a document that is kept on Moodle under Announcements and Help. It is a nice guide to reading and understanding your scorecard. Parents and students should become comfortable with these scorecards and know how to use them to better understand the student's readiness for college. You cannot improve your scorecard if you don't read it. Click to the next slide when you are ready to continue. Let's talk about improving your scorecard. There are two areas that you can look to help you do this. The red triggers are the best place to start. If you have any of these, you will need to work at eliminating them by fulfilling specific requirements. Doing so will also help some of your other pillars. The individual pillars are the next place to look. Let's discuss what you can do in each of these areas to improve. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. The best way to improve your scorecard, especially if you are a red designation, is by fixing red triggers. Tutoring, if you're struggling in or failing a college class, is always a good thing. If you're green now but know you're failing a class or are in danger of failing a class, you will be red the following semester. Tutoring can help, and it's even better if you can get it before you have an F in the class. You can seek help at both Nevada State High School and CSN. CSN has a math lab, tutoring services, and a writing center that all students are able to use. Nevada State High School requires all students who have not met state testing requirements to be provided with extra tutoring and help to prepare for testing. If you have not met state testing requirements, you need to do everything in your power to make sure you meet them. If you have failed to submit documents to Nevada State High School, meeting with a student success advocate and/or Nevada State High School staff can help. Work out a plan to get them turned in and meet all Nevada State High School requirements in the future to fix your red designation. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. Another way to improve your scorecard, especially if you are yellow, is by improving on specific items in the 100, 200, 300, and 400 pillars. Here are some ways to boost your personal pillar: going to class, getting there on time, checking Moodle daily, and turning in all assignments and required paperwork early instead of waiting until the last minute. Completing your volunteer hours and participating in Nevada State High School social events such as prom and Bully Hawkins can help improve your social pillar. Completing required study island ribbons and again, getting tutoring before you even need help can help you advance your 300 and 400 pillars. Doing all of the previously mentioned things will help you improve your scorecard. Make sure that you do these things consistently because scorecards are updated 2 or 3 times every semester. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. We've completed the presentation for scorecards. Now that you know what to do, read your scorecard closely and see what areas you need to improve on and which ones you're doing well in. Feel free to refer back to this video if you need a refresher, or you can consult with an SSA, submit a ticket, or talk to Nevada State High School staff. You have learned valuable information related to using scorecards, identifying red triggers, and ways to improve your scorecard. Now let's take a short quiz on the information we've talked about. Click to the next slide when you're ready to continue. Let's go through a couple of things before you begin your quiz. After answering each question, click Next. After answering all of the questions, click the Submit All button. You'll have 2 opportunities to take this quiz. Take your time and read each question carefully. Click to the next slide when you're ready to begin.